All right. Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back, Ophiuchus. Ophiuchus, I was just chuckling, going, my hair looks like one of those dogs. Is it the Shih Tzu? It has like little hair. Lots of times we put like a little pigtail up at the top. That's totally what it looks like right now. Sorry, guys. Nice to see you. All right, Ophiuchus, let's get a little bit caught up tonight, shall we? So, Ophiuchus, we are going to get into a quick little retrograde message. All right. I know we're still missing a couple other zodiacs. We'll get to a few of those tonight as well. But delighted to be here. Hi, AC. Hi, Chrissy. All right, we have an Ace of Swords, and we've got that Four of Cups. Ace of Swords. Now, keep in mind, retrograde is where Mercury laps us, right? Mercury comes back around because it moves faster on its orbit than we do. So it looks like it's lapping us, even though looks like it's going in reverse, even though it isn't. So I always look at it the same way I look at hands on a clock. You know, if you pick a point on an orbit and say, okay, 12 is the orbit, then every time that clock hand passes, we know it's denoting some passage of time. So what might be coming back around and into our line of vision that pops up in our mind, and how might we look at it maybe a little different this time? We've got the Ace of Swords that says there's a truth and a clarity coming in. I almost feel like Ophiuchus is saying, I saw that look of regret on their face. I know that they regret what they said, or there was some moment where it's like, and that was it. And it just feels like Ophiuchus is having this moment of awareness that either someone that they interacted with was suddenly like, maybe something came out of their lips that they wish they could take back. Okay, yeah. This is somebody that Ophiuchus may have moved on from. But it's like remembering that was the moment when I decided, I think I'll step back from this. They knew it and I knew it. And I could see they were like, shit. You know, we've all had those moments before where it's like, and that person now hates me. I said something, I know it was that moment where they just gave me this look and I realized I must have hit a sore spot, or I put my foot in my mouth or something, and now they hate me. And I just feel like Ophiuchus is the one recognizing they know what made Ophiuchus pull back. And I'm not saying Ophiuchus hated this person. I'm just saying it was a moment Ophiuchus was like, done. And it's weird because Ophiuchus is like, they knew it was that moment too. Maybe it was a silent, unspoken thing where like they knew. Hi, Nellie. Hi, Jem. You guys are so lovely. Nice to see everybody. AC, you're such a doll. Thank you, love. I do believe I just popped my button. Hang on. I have to button back up. These are pretty little buttons on here, but they don't stay buttoned very well. I'm always afraid I'll ruin one because they're like shiny little fancy buttons. And this was already a thrift store find, so you know things are hanging on by their last thread. We have got the Ace of Wands in the reverse, the Empress in the reverse, and the Page of Coins. I think, unfortunately, something happened where Ophiuchus was big insulted. And Ophiuchus was like, and major turn off. You low-key just insulted me in a massive way. And I'm wondering if Ophiuchus had just a simple sentence that they said to this person, and it was like, because we went from like, there's a truth here, there's a moving away or withdrawal, there's, because somebody just said or did something that completely turned me off. That Ace of Wands in the reverse is like, and that has made everything very unattractive, very unsexy. So that's it. You said something to me that made me feel like I'm not an empress, or you said something to me that was disrespectful. And so that's pretty much where I think Ophiuchus shut down and maybe said just enough, was still cordial, was still very polite, but it was like you could cut the air, with a knife, because all of a sudden the distance between these two was very, very far indeed. And I don't know why this is coming for Ophiuchus, if it's just maybe they're going to bump into this person and it's like that moment where eyes meet and it's like, oh God, they remember, they're still embarrassed about what happened. Did this person intend to be rude, or was this foot in the mouth? We have a 10 of Cups. They might have, my best analogy, forgive me, it's probably not my best analogy, but I am not too sharp right now. My brain feels still slushy. So forgive me, but somebody like pee-peed on the rug in the middle of the party, so to speak. Things might have been going smashingly well, lots of happiness, maybe, joking around, talking, lots of communication. And then they said something that was like, that's it. I mean, what happens if you're having a nice dinner party and everybody's standing around chit-chatting and then somebody tinkles on the rug? Probably the dinner party stops. It's a shocker. It's a sudden like, oh, I am aghast. There's a pearl clutch moment. I can't believe I just witnessed that, or I can't believe they just said that. Yeah, we went from fabulous to done because we have the Ten of Swords. And it was like instantly, I think Ophiuchus had to go into not even defense mode or protective mode, but I don't know if this person thought they were being funny, thought they were being cute, and then they instead said something that made Ophiuchus like stand up and show not their hackles, but their inner strength. And it really made this person go, I cannot believe I just said that. I can't believe I just wrecked how we were vibing. Now, maybe this had something to do with, a joke that didn't land, or something that ended up sounding like a harsh criticism, or maybe it had something to do with long-term connections. And, the fact that this person wasn't looking for an Empress-Emperor connection. It could have been something along those lines, but it definitely was like a moment. However this was handled was not good. With that Justice card, Libra energy here. Speaking of, I was in the Libra video today, and Delinda, if you're out there, I promised you guys I would get to Ophiuchus today. Sorry it took me so many hours to get back here, and Libras, I'm sorry that your video was recorded live and then it fell into the abyss of processing and won't be back until tomorrow. So sorry about all that, you guys. You'll see the Libra video later, but the only reason I bring it up is because, for all I know, maybe we've got strong Libra energy off of this person. We may also have Leo. I will be doing Leo still tonight right after this, so hang in there. But this definitely is feeling so like everybody knew when this thing went south, when it went, distasteful. And it's super unfortunate that it happened like this, but I don't know. It feels like somebody unjustly said something to Ophiuchus that it doesn't look like Ophiuchus got hurt exactly. It says that it made them withdraw, and it said that it made Ophiuchus not find them attractive anymore. Let me ask this. Why is this the thing that is coming up right now? Hi, everybody. Empress upright, the Sun, the Ace of Wands, and the Page of Wands. Okay. So I will put it this way. I'm kind of glad it's coming up, because it does seem like we got a lot of Leo. Okay. Strong Leo all over this. And now we have that Empress that was in the reverse for Ophiuchus. Now Empress is upright. I'm kind of wondering if whatever it is that they said, it was insulting. And there's a million different ways that people can be insulting, right? They can be insulting in ways that are like saying something like they put a limit on us, and then we realize that's how they see us. Like, oh, you think I'm not somebody who could achieve that, or you think I didn't realize you thought that of me, that you put a ceiling on what my success in life can be, or what you think my, personal, growth could reach for, or you assume somehow that I'm in some different strata. Yeah, I'm not interested in being put in a strata. I personally am like, I'm so glad that this comes back up, because if Ophiuchus does see this person again, what they're going to be noticing, they're looking up at Ophiuchus. So whatever is happening or has happened in Ophiuchus's life since this blowout, we'll call it, it has changed tremendously. Ophiuchus has changed dramatically, or this person sees Ophiuchus for how they should have seen Ophiuchus a long time ago, which is, why did I ever say something? Also, here's the crazy part. They were happy with Ophiuchus. Ophiuchus was a 10 of cups, or Ophiuchus was really happy around them until they said something that seems to have been incredibly, I feel insulting, and I feel like it was just so unfair because they conveyed something that put Ophiuchus in like some inferior position, or like I said, put a limitation on what they believed Ophiuchus could achieve or something. And Ophiuchus might have been a little stunned that that was the opinion that they low-key held, even though it's crazy because I don't actually think that's quite what they meant. But I will say this: retrograde has a way of making things pop back up to the forefront of our mind. Maybe it's, a similar season, or maybe we're wearing a similar outfit, or maybe we have, migration type of thing where it's like, oh, I'm going to go back there to that same area of town. And that's when we bump into that person again. All I can say is Ophiuchus is going to be looking good, smelling good. And it is a big, like a moment where, if anything, Ophiuchus kind of claims their place more thoroughly in this person's mind. And I'm not saying Ophiuchus needed to prove themselves in this person's mind. I'm just saying, by a sheer twist of fate, I don't even know if Ophiuchus will know that this person sees them, but they not only witness like the true beauty and kind of like brilliance of Ophiuchus, but I also think that they are going to be aware. I don't think they've ever wanted Ophiuchus more, but they're also aware Ophiuchus. I'm so sorry, I'm going to sound horrible when I say this. They were the ones that weren't up to snuff to be with Ophiuchus, never the opposite way around. And if that's what they intimated in any way, shape, or form, if there was some difference in socioeconomic status, if they thought they were, more wealthy, or they said something a little bit like dismissive or something, talked down to Ophiuchus or something like that, Ophiuchus is actually the one that they're seeing as like an incredibly like worthy individual with incredible grace and incredible intellect and incredible success. And they're like, Ophiuchus has outclassed me. I'm the one that got outclassed, not the other way around. Look, I don't think this person is such a hard story for me to tell, because I don't think that they set out to be insulting. I mean, they had immediate regrets. Ophiuchus knows that too, but it's like, yeah, but you still already pee-peed on the rug. You did something, you said something that was like, oh, things were going so good between us. And then I don't think I'm sticking around after this, because I mean, maybe it was something about marriage. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe they weren't really sure. Maybe they said something about, I'm not sure that I want to be in a long-term commitment. I'm not sure. I mean, maybe it was one of those super rude comments, like, I'm not sure that we, would be compatible because we just come from such different backgrounds. And it's like, to me, that's a mic drop. I'm like, and we're gone. I'm out. That I don't believe in class systems, or I don't believe that people, if all that matters is how two hearts feel about each other, I don't think any two people could ever be incompatible because they come from different backgrounds. Human beings are all equal. Doesn't matter if we have different backgrounds. If we love each other and value each other, we'll make it work. Yeah, sure, different backgrounds, different language barriers, those things can be problematic, but you figure it out. I mean, my goodness, we're all human. We all have the same needs. And if we're drawn to each other, and that's the crazy part, is that they were really happy with Ophiuchus. So I think whatever this character said, it was out of their mouth, and then there was no takesy backsies. And it was the biggest mistake they ever made, I think. But I think Ophiuchus knows all this. I think Ophiuchus is aware. I know that person didn't really maybe mean to insult me exactly, even though once it came out of their mouth, I don't know that I can take that one back, or I can come back from that one, because I'm not sure I'm attracted to them anymore. But I don't see Ophiuchus thinking this person is, a terrible villain, but it was definitely something like thoughtless or stupid that they said. And it was also 100% wrong. But that's the crazy part with this coming back around. I don't know if it's just like they've never seen Ophiuchus in such a much more beautiful light. They've never, there's something about knowing that you've made a blunder and that you were wrong, but then having to face it again in such spectacular fashion, seeing Ophiuchus as like, Ophiuchus is one out of my league. Like, that's how this comes across. So all I can say is, it sucks to be them because like this is a very like uncomfortable story to have to tell. Like I'm uncomfortable for this character. Just because I don't think they intended to be rude, but it was too late and it was something stupid or petty that they said, and it cost them their relationship with Ophiuchus. What's the final message just for them during this retrograde? Seven of Wands, Nine of Swords. Oh, God. I think, unfortunately, this retrograde for them just stirs up more discomfort. If they bump into Ophiuchus, they might back off and run the other way and hope Ophiuchus doesn't see them, because it's not like, look, I don't see this person trying to come in and say, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. I think they already are. They were a long time ago. But if anything, this is just a very, like, to be confronted again with the mistake that they made, to be confronted again with how very amazing Ophiuchus is, and the fact that they would do anything, I think, to take this back and erase it. But they really can't. I mean, can't, that's a tough thing to say. I mean, if we want to fix something, we might really be able to over time, but there would certainly have to be some kind of like a, redemption and building a trust again and maybe getting to know each other again. But I don't know. I just see this as a very uncomfortable time for them. Not for Ophiuchus. For Ophiuchus, if anything, I think Ophiuchus is going to have that moment where it's like, honestly, I saw them. I bumped into them. Or I bumped into an ex, the ex who said something kind of insulting to me. And we both knew that in that moment we blew it. Like, I don't want to be with him anymore. But I bumped into him, and man, I was looking fly that day, and I could see on their face, like, whew, and I could see them split. And I know how they felt. It might just be this gentle validation. I hope that doesn't sound petty on my part, to tell the story this way, but I think Ophiuchus deserves the validation, that they can see someone's regret. They can see it, and maybe it feels good that Ophiuchus is like, I'm looking good, I'm feeling good, I am in my element. I am worth a lot more than what maybe they intimated I was at one point, and they can see their error, and I'm glad they can see that. Feels good to even see the fact that I can read their language, their body language. They're pretty disappointed with what happened with us, but that is a little validating. I don't see Ophiuchus turning back around and coming back to them. I just see somehow this is like putting the period on the end of the sentence, and it's, the book is closed. They do seem to be still kind of uncomfortable, because I do think that this person wishes they could take back whatever words they spoke. That's what the whole crux of the story has been. It started out that way. I would give anything to take back those words that I said. It was really stupid. I would give anything to take that moment back. I don't really see them working on taking it back, though. I just see them kind of running from Ophiuchus a bit. But again, maybe that is the message. That's the best they can do. All right, you guys. So good to see you guys. Really nice to hang out a little bit. Hi, Shayla, SLH. Hi, Bridget, you sweetheart. Thank you so much for reminding me. Thank you guys so much for giving it a thumbs up. That means the world to me. It really helps the channel grow. Olivia, nice to see you, honey. AC, thank you again. And Ruva, hi, sweetie. Tammy Secord, always a delight. Chrissy, my pleasure, babe. Thanks so much for being here, honey. Nikki, oh, hi. Hi, G. Nelly, sadly, no, I didn't find any snackies. You're hilarious. All right, you guys. I'll see you again in just a few. We're going to pop on over to, I think we'll do Leo, then Capricorn, and I think we still need to get to a Taurus as well. All right, I'll see you guys in a few. Thanks for being here.